What's up, guys? Duke here from sportsgamers.com, and we're back with another Madden 20 tip. Guys, this is the video you've been waiting for. I'm about to break down my full single back wing tight Z scheme. This is the most dominant run scheme in the game, but it also has some great passing plays that I'm going to break down for you guys. With this scheme, you're going to be easily able to beat all the meta run Ds, the meta blitzes, the meta coverages, just anything you're going to face, you're going to be easily able to beat. Now, we're going to be looking at this. This is in the Redskins playbook. It's in a few others, but I do like the Redskins playbook with it the best. We're gonna do this in a few different parts because I have lots of different setups. I'm gonna show you guys. So in this video, I'm gonna be focusing on the runs and some pass setups that you don't need to use abilities for. If you guys want some passing setups with abilities, I have those too, and we will drop those in a later video. So like I said, we're gonna do at least 2, maybe 3 parts to this. 300 likes on this video, and I'll drop part 2. So all that said, let's get into my audibles. So for this, I essentially have 4 different audibles. I have 2 runs and 2 passes. It's very, like I said, it's a balanced scheme. You can run and pass pretty well. So we're going to go with the dive, the HB dive, go with the HB stretch, then we're going to go with tight end attack, which is already an audible. I like that play because you'll see in a second here, but it has a nice little post. So that's a good play to use if you don't have, like I said, ability to hot route to your players on routes. Different routes like posts and corners, that's a good one. Curl flat seam, again, that's good because there's a stock corner route that's really effective built in. So those are the 4 audibles I like to use. So let me break down the runs first. Now, I did do a pretty in-depth breakdown of the stretch already. If you guys want to see that and the different motions you guys can use on the stretch, I will link the full breakdown to the stretch in the comments. I will do a pinned comment on it. But I just want to show you guys really quickly how good the stretch is and my favorite motion. Now, there's a few different motions you can do, but one of the motions I like the best probably overall is just motioning this receiver and snapping the ball right about here. This really beats every single run defense you can think of out there. It beats the 3-4 odd, Storm Brave and Edge Blitz. It beats like a cover 4, cover 2. It even even beats the 3-3-5 wide. So this is probably the best motion you can do overall from it. You can run it flipped or not. It doesn't really make a difference. But I will tell you guys that you're definitely going to want to watch the video I pinned in the comments because in that video you will see several other different ways you can utilize this run play with different motions that are really, 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 really effective. But as you guys can see here, you don't even have to use motion on it. It's just super good against any zone because you do already have 3 blockers to the strong side. So this stretch is definitely a problem. Now, the dive is, to me, just as good, if not better, than the stretch. Well, not better, but I would say just as good as the stretch in certain situations. The dive, you're going to want to run against people that keep their D-line or their linebackers spread out. A lot of people will just pinch their D-line every time, and that does do a good job of stopping the dive. But I will tell you guys, once you start running this stretch enough, you'll see people stop pinching their D-line. And as soon as you see that, you can just run this dive, and the blocking on this dive is outstanding, as you guys can see there. Got a really easy 10 or so yard gain right up the middle before anyone was even in the vicinity, to tackle me. And you can actually use the same motion on the dive that you use on the stretch if you want to. But as you guys can see, we're able to get good yardage right up that middle. So if you want, guys can see it here. I'm about to do that same motion. Now, I would recommend always running the dive if you have a right-handed quarterback to the right, and if you have a left-handed quarterback to the left. Now, this is cover 2, and, again, if you see the D-line is not pinched, that's when you want to audible to the dive. If you see the D-line is pinched, that's when I would run the stretch. But here's the same motion, and I really like this motion. Now, that time, he didn't. I hiked it a little bit too early, because when I run the dive, and I'm going to do it one more time for you guys, I like to wait until he gets to the opposite side. So like here, we're going to go to the dive, and I'm going to playmaker to the right, and I'm going to snap the ball a little bit later on the dive than I would the stretch. More so like right about here, and he just gets a nice lead block on that outside if you want to try to cut it to the outside. I like this dive because you can cut it up the middle, you can cut it to the left, or you can cut it to the right because it really is, especially with that motion, a compressed formation. So like if they overload one side or the other, you can easily just bounce it outside either way, or you can just go right up the middle like this here. And it's extremely effective. As you guys can see, I made that cut right up the middle, and I just basically followed my blockers. And a big key I'd say on these runs is do not use turbo until you're in the clear, because you're going to set up your blockers much better without using turbo. As you guys can see here, cut to that outside, and we're gone. touchdown for us. All right, so that's basically the run game. Like I said, I will link the stretch breakdown that's more in depth for you guys pinned in the comments, so you can check that out. But I really want to get into the passing setups now. So starting with this curl flat seam, I can tell you guys that this is a really good play to beat this 3-3-5 wide run defense that is so popular. And we all know that's what this two safeties and the spies. Now, I really like this because you can do this a few different things with this play. That's going to kill man coverage in general. This is a great play to beat man coverage. Now, what I like to do is, because I know that when they're in this defense, it's straight man, I like to wheel the running back, and that's going to go to the wide side. So I like to have the tight end that's on the corner route on the short side. Now, the other thing I like to do is I like to motion slant this receiver. Now, do a few different things with this. What I typically like to do a lot, if I'm going to do this though, is I like to put this receiver that's right here, the inside tight end, I like to put him on a smart routed out route, and then I like to put this tight end right here. It depends if you have the abilities or not on him. Like here, Kittle, we don't have hot route master, but Kittle does have route apprentice, so I can put him on a post or a trail. Now, I will say, if you do not have the ability to put him on a post or trail, you can just put him on a smart routed in route, and it's going to work good. But I like to just motion this guy over on a slant, and I actually don't snap the ball until he gets to the other side of the formation like this. So, first of all, that's just a super easy read against man coverage. That's always going to be open. That's my first read against pretty much any defense, honestly. The motion slant is super, super effective this year, and it's even good. The reason why I have the wheel route here is two reasons. A, if they're in man, which they generally are in this type of defense, I need them to have to guard the running back, because a lot of times they'll try to leave the running back unguarded. So if they do that, he'll be wide open. But more importantly is if they're actually playing zone, I need the wheel route to help my slant get open, because the wheel route will pull flat guys away. All right, now, obviously you can see here I have the corner route that's breaking open. I have that smart route out route that's breaking open, and that's a really good route because even if you don't have the best player there, he's always going to beat man coverage with smart routed out. And then I have the trail that's coming open too. So literally everybody is a threat to beat man coverage from this play. So if they're in this 3-5 wide run defense, to try to slow down this run, I can promise you they're going to have no chance of stopping this passing setup. And, this beats zone, too, if they're just going to sit back and cover 4 or cover 2 to beat any coverage out there, whether it's the man, as you're seeing here, is it zone, really doesn't matter. As you guys can see there, to have that smart routed out route, this breaks wide open. This is a fullback that just cribbed a smart routed out route against man coverage. So, you guys know it's real. Now, again, do the same exact setup. So far you've seen the out, so far you've seen the slant. Now I want to show you how we can get this trail open over the middle of the field as well. So you have to guard the middle of the field on both sides with the trail and the slant, but then you also have to guard the perimeter with the wheel route, the corner route, and the smart routed out route, guys. So there are just so many, and look how open he is. That's a touchdown. There are just so many routes on this play that are effective. That's why man coverage has no chance. Now, you might say to yourself, well, Duke, what if they play, edge blitz and they're blitzing 7 at me from man? Like, is it still going to work? And the answer to your question is yes, because even though we're not trying to block anybody, the reads on this play are super, 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 super quick. Like, you're there. First of all, the running back's going to be unguarded. So, right off the bat, because the running back's unguarded, and if they don't user it, it's going to be a completion every time. Now, if they do user it, that's when you can hit either the corner route or that slant over the middle of the field, because both of those routes are so fast that even a 7-man blitz without blocking is not going to be able to get to you. So in a situation like this where there's just nobody guarding him, we just dump it off, and it's potentially a touchdown, as you guys can see here, if you have someone fast. Now, let's say that the user is going to go guard that. Okay, if the user goes to guard that route, then we're going to have to go somewhere else. So we'll just man up the running back right here with the safety to kind of show that. And now you're going to see that, if they do that, then all we're going to have to do if they user the running back is we're going to hit either the slant, the corner, or the trail, just whoever's more open. And, there's just no chance that they can defend this. Now, the great thing about this play, like I said, is even if they're just going to play a zone or, whatever, whether it be cover 4, cover 2. Cover 3 is such a bad run defense. You're not going to see many people just sit in cover 3. And, we do have some ways we can bomb cover 3, by the way, which we'll be getting into in part 2 of this scheme. But let's say that they're just sitting back, right? All right, if they're going to sit back and play coverage, whether it be cover 4, cover 2, doesn't really make a difference. This play is going to destroy that because there's just so many reads here. For one, the out route and the wheel route, they work together. So, if they have hard flats, you can hit that out route. And by the way, if you have hot route master, this would be a great time to put this player that's on the out route on the corner route. But if they play hard flats, you can hit the out. If they play cloud flats, you can hit the wheel. That's very easy. Then, obviously, you can read over the middle of the field because you have a trail, a post or an in or whatever you're doing with the RB tight end. And then also you have the slant. So, as you guys can see here, cloud flats, just hit the running back, turn upfield, get some free yards. So, they're going to have to make a choice who they look to guard over the middle of the field. Are they going to play the slant or are they going to play the trail route? And again, they have to guard the perimeter, the edges of the field because we have a wheel route, a small routed out, and a corner route. So they can't really ignore any area of the field at all. I mean, these are all really simple reads. Honestly, the motion slant is so money because it really does beat every coverage in the game. That has to be user, okay? And even if it's covered a little bit, you can just lowball it. So you can see that there's just so many reads here. If you're good at making progressions, you will love this play. Now, the other main run D out there, that zone, is the pinch dog press, or two press. This is a cover 2 base, and it's essentially they're going to bring everyone up, pinch the defense, and play on this linebacker. Pinch dog 2 press is the other very popular zone run D. It's cover 2 based, and I mean, you could run the stretch all day on this. If you watch the video I pin in the comments about that, you'll see how easy it is to do with the stretch. But if you need to pass the ball, you definitely can. So, generally speaking, I'm looking over the middle of the field. I mean, I already know that between the trail and the motion slant, one of these guys, if not both, are going to be open. So it's just a pretty much pick your poison. That's free yards. But, also, again, we still have that running back, and we still do have the ability to hit him out of the backfield if we want. We can also, hit the out route too, potentially. I mean, we can do a lot. Now another thing you can do out of this play when they're in obviously zone like this is, this is more of a zone beater, not a man beater. But what you guys can do is, first of all, if you need a little extra blocking, you can just go ahead and block this inside tight end right here. And you can do a wheel, and you can drag this tight end, and then you can just put this guy in an out route right here. So what's going to happen is you're going to have the out route working with the wheel to the wide side, and then you're going to have the drag working with the corner route, okay? So it's essentially 2 simple reads. First of all, this running back's always going to be open against zone out of the backfield, whether they blitz you or not. And if they aren't blitzing you, you don't even have to block this tight end right here. But other than that, what you have is the corner out working with the drag. So if they're going to try to guard the corner out themselves, or the running back themselves, you can just hit whoever's open between the drag and the corner. So now let's say that they try to take the running back away, they man him up, whatever the case may be. Now you need to hit somebody else. Well, that's where your read comes in with the corner and the drag, because one of those two will always be open. It just depends if they have hard flats or clouds. As you guys can see here, they have clouds, so the corner out was covered, so I could hit the drag. It was just a bad throw, but we'll do that again for you guys. So let's take a look. Again, basically it's just a high-low read. If they're gonna leave your corner open by playing hard flats, you throw to the corner. But if they go ahead and play clouds to take the corner away, you throw the drag and just turn the field, get yards. So that was an example of a cloud flat. Let's take an example of a hard flat, okay? So again, what we're doing here is we're making the user pick. Is the user going to help out on the corner drag combo, or is he going to go guard that running back? And if he guards that running back, that's when we were able to hit this. Now, this is a really quick corner out, which is nice, because if they do, that's why it's really good against man. But if they play hard flats, it just gets open so fast that it's crazy. Now, if they're not blitzing you, say they're just playing regular cover 2 and they're not doing pinch dog 2 press, well, at that point, you can make this play even better by just, literally, you can do the motion slant like this and just do the flat to the tight end and keep the seam streak, and then wheel route the running back because you don't need to block anybody. And what happens here, and you can do just motion them just in like this, is now you have that seam streak that backs up the inside zones, so that if they go and try to jump the running back themselves instead of playing the middle of the field, you can just easily, and I'll kind of like show that here, you can just easily throw that little seam streak to the tight end. And that's a really good seam streak, by the way. That seam streak is angled, so it gets in the soft spots really well. So if they leave that middle vacated, that's just an easy dot. So I hope you guys enjoyed part 1. Like I said, we still have a ton of setups left, but you know, this video is getting long. I don't want to overwhelm you guys. So 300 likes and I'll drop part 2. We got some bomb plays. We got a lot of passing setups we still want to go over. So hope you guys enjoyed the video. Give me the 300 likes.